Thank you, Mrs. Sargentini, for this interview. What do you think about the situation regarding Mrs. Laura Kovesi, who was nominated for this top job of the public prosecutors of the EU, but in the same time the Romanian Minister of Justice, Mr. Tudorel Toader, who initiated and obtained her resignation from DNA in Romania, he doesn't support her?
Well, Ms. Kovesi is indeed one of the three possible candidates for the European Public Prosecutor. We'll have a hearing in the Committee on Justice and Home Affairs in the European Parliament on the 26th of February, where we will hear her. But I have full trust in that committee of independent experts. And it's not the first time that a post is given to somebody in the European Union without the government agreeing. Let us think about Donald Tusk, who is the president of the European Council, and he was supported for his second term by 27 of the 28 member states, but not his own country, Poland. So, if I can compare that, it can happen. I think it also illustrates the problem that Romania has at the moment. They should never have fired Ms. Kovesi, because she was doing an excellent job.
Okay, so Mrs. Sargentini, did you have any talks so far in your group regarding the candidates for this top job of European prosecutor? What do you think? What is the decision in your group?
Well, we're doing the hearing first. Then we get the paperwork, we can see the people operate, but we're happy with all three candidates, and we noticed that Ms. Kovesi is also the first on the list of that independent group of experts. So she is qualified for the job, and I think it would also give a very clear signal to member states that they can fire somebody, but if that person is actually doing an excellent job, they should cherish somebody and not fire them because it comes inconvenient for the current government.
Did you receive that letter which was sent by one of the European parliamentarians here, a Romanian MEP from the Social Democrat Party in Romania, about Mrs. Kovesi? He stated there that Mrs. Kovesi would be in some kind of I think some 18 penal procedures involved in Romania regarding abuse.
I saw that email, but I get a couple of hundred emails a day, and I'm kind of used by now as a rapporteur on Hungary that I get very biased information from various colleagues that want to protect their government. And I read that letter exactly like it is. It's trying to protect the Romanian, I beg your pardon, trying to protect the Romanian government. And I think that group of experts has done their homework properly. I have no reason to doubt that.
You mentioned that famous report on Hungary that you conducted. Do you think there are similarities between the situation of Hungary and the situation of Romania?
Well, yes, there are similarities. For instance, the way the Romanian government tries to silence the judiciary, tries to make the judiciary more obedient to the government, less independent, is something they must have been copy-pasting from the Hungarian government. But there are big differences there as well, and that is Hungary has been going down this path towards an authoritarian state for 8 years now, and that is not the case with Romania. So I have high hopes that Romanian citizens that went to the streets will keep their country democratic.
Yeah. Vice Chair, you mentioned the people who went to the streets, and your political group supports the peaceful gatherings on the streets of the whole Europe. Basically.
Of course.
And but there are 6 months since the massive protests on the streets of Bucharest in August, 10th of August last year. and the European Parliament, with the support of your groups and your vote personally, condemned the tough intervention of the Romanian riot police against the peaceful protesters in Bucharest. But until now, and there are 6 months since then, nobody was brought to justice.
Well, the Parliament can condemn, and the European Commission, Commissioner Timmermans, has been very critical about the situation in Romania in its verification mechanism report. But change needs to come from inside. You can't force a government. It is the Romanian citizens that can organize change, and what we show is support, moral support, and the European Commission can do financial sanctions if needed, if necessary. But democracy can be a slow process.
But could you tell us more about the procedures in the case of Mrs. Kovesi?
Well, there's probably a vote in the Civil Liberties Committee, but we haven't scheduled that yet. And there is a debate on how, because this is the first time ever we're appointing a European public prosecutor. So we're still figuring out how to exactly do that, and the Council has a role to play there as well. So I'm not able to enlighten you yet, because we're making it up as we go along.